Okay, guys, here's the next episode of Sonic Boom. Anything you can do, I can do worser. Okay, so if you're a fan of the Wile E. Coyote style humor or the board game Mousetrap, this is probably the episode for you. Alright, so the episode starts pretty typically with another Eggman attack, which they foil. But then Eggman starts to say that Eggman says that catching Sonic is something that's hard, and that Tails wouldn't be able to do any better. So Tails says that Tails decides to take that as a challenge, and he and Sonic make a bet to see who can, to see if he can capture him. So Tails sets up some basic traps, like he goes with the misdirection angle, like he leaves an obviously dangling cage with a chili dog bait, and when Sonic evades the cage, a tiger trap falls, and that's what was intended to catch him. But of course Sonic can break out, just like he did from the really cool robot at the beginning of the episode, Vacuubot. That robot was a lot cooler looking than its name suggested. Even though it was like big and round, it kind of think of a roller cross with a scorp, but with like a humanoid form. It was a cool looking badnik, and then it succeeded in sucking Sonic up, but Sonic was able to just break it from the inside. So it's hardly something that can permanently trap him. Now, jeez, the episode proceeded. It proceeded pretty formulaically from there. Tails sets up a trap, Sonic breaks through it. Although there were little things like Tails growing increasingly frustrated at Sonic's condescension, because every time Sonic succeeded in breaking out of in escaping one of his traps, Sonic would pat him on the head and say it was a good effort. So Tails is getting more and more angry. And it started to get to the point where they were accidentally capturing the other friends. Like Tails said that he was taking a break from trying to capture Sonic, but had promised Zoe that he'd help her stack some barrels. Zoe! Remember her from Tails' crush? We haven't seen her since episode 40. It's good to know that Tails still is in contact with her. Although it makes me wonder what that means with the moment he had with Percy. Who would have thought? So yeah, Zoe got a nice mention, so he asks Sonic if he can help him stack the barrels, but Sonic, seeing through the ruse, asks Knuckles to help him stack the barrels instead, since he's so much stronger. So Knuckles carries the barrel, stacks it, but then the barrels jump up and traps him inside. So while Sonic is walking in the desert with Amy, Tails uses a bunch of remote-controlled boulders to try and capture him, and not Tails. You're not trying to kill Sonic, right? So Sonic manages to evade the guided boulders, and they all close in on him and Amy. He jumps out of the way, and Amy ends up getting trapped under the 4 boulders. They hit each other, leaving a void space underneath big enough for her to crouch in. Yeah. Also, everyone's kind of a jerk in that situation. I mean, Tails was using these boulders to try and capture Sonic, which nearly crushed Sonic and Amy. Then Sonic jumps out of the way of the trap just before it closes, leaving Amy to be in the trap. And Tails just leaves her there. Everyone is a jerk in this scenario. Then there's an entire row of hundreds upon hundreds of bear traps that Sonic is running through. He steps in the bear trap and then pulls his foot away before it has time to close. But Styx gets stuck in one by her hair. She says she admires the craftsmanship of the traps because, Styx is a trapper, so she has to admire the traps. So Tails is getting really frustrated to the point where he breaks his goggles in half and stomps them flat. Although they must have pretty durable lenses, because in the next scene they're just taped back together. Like, wow, you think all the stomping would have done a little bit more damage. So with all the traps fail, Tails finally says that he's decided that he's gonna capitulate and say that Sonic won. I was gonna set up one more trap, but I figured you just beat it. So why don't you just go and help yourself to the bait. So Sonic, unable to resist the allure of a chili dog under any circumstances, he decides to just take the chili dog, and he starts and as he takes it off. Oh, by the way, this is all taking place in a frozen lake. This is going to be relevant to the music sting because they're playing Swan Lake. Yeah, from the famous ballet. So this is where the mousetrap comparison comes in because Tails, with his smug smile, is sitting in his little chair on the ice lake, and it's been established Sonic has a difficult time moving on the ice lake because it's so slippery. You'd think with all that sports tape wrapped around his shoes, he'd have a little bit more friction. So what happens is that a crazy Rube Goldbergian mechanism goes off, sending a bowling ball crashing into a carefully marked X on the middle of the lake, which causes the ice to crack and leaves Sonic trapped on an unstable ice floe. Remember, Sonic can't swim. Even in this continuity, he's quite the hydrophobe. And he can't get off of the ice floe because he can't get enough friction to push off for a jump. So he's left desperately clutching to this piece of ice, and he's forced to capitulate to Tails and say that Tails has won. This is when Eggman makes his entry. What I did mention before is that Eggman, seeing Tails going into these trap attempts, notes that Tails has a significantly shallower learning curve on this than he has. Possibly because he's observed Eggman do it so many times in the past, he just kind of figured it out. So Eggman vowed to allow Tails to capture Sonic, at which point he could swoop in and take him. Ho ha ha! Of course, what's he gonna do once he captures Sonic? It's not like in the Sad AM cartoon, he would put him in the roboticizer. But if he doesn't have a roboticizer, what's he gonna do? Kill him? I mean, I seriously don't think that this version of Eggman has it in him to kill anybody. He's not gonna kill Sonic. He doesn't have the technology to roboticize him. He's gonna shove him in a dungeon. I mean, what's he gonna do? What is he gonna do? But whatever. He's trying to capture Sonic in this situation. He comes in with his ship. Oh, by the way, there was this hilarious bit where he said that he doesn't normally like it when people do things for him, but then he tells Cubot and Orbot to go do things for him. I guess he likes ordering people around, but doesn't like being an opportunist. I guess that's how I would interpret his motivations. So what happens after this? So Tails is left. Tails has to run around to all the traps that he set and free everybody because he never freed them from the traps before. He goes and gets Knuckles out of the barrel. He gets Amy out from under the boulders, and Amy tells him that he let the competitiveness get to him, and he says that she's right, but doesn't have time for the lecture. And she says, "I'll lecture you on the way. I'll kill two birds with one stone." So Styx managed to free herself from the bear traps. She still has the bear trap stuck in her hair like a giant beret, and she just kind of pulled the stake out that was holding the chain in. So they all go, and Eggman is arguing with Cubot and Orbot over what to call the frozen Sonic, like whether they should call him a hedgehog sickle or a Sonic Pop or something like that, a Sonic the Hedge Cube. And so Sonic, still trapped in the ice floe, is rescued by everyone who beats up the robots. Eggman blames them for taking too long to criticize Sonic. And Sonic asks Knuckles to throw him at Eggman, where he knocks him over the horizon, but as he flies away he says, "I had you trapped! You were trapped for a whole minute! I won! This is my win!" Wait, why am I doing this with my hand? This is my win! If you're gonna have the toy next to you, like, every day of your life, you may as well have a couple opportunities where you pick it up, huh? Alright, so Tails is left sheepishly apologizing for what he did to everybody and turning a simple bet into this dangerous situation. And Sonic says that there is one thing he can do to make up for it. And I guess I forgot to describe the terms of the bet. The loser of the bet had to sing a romantic song at karaoke night on Madburger. So here we have Tails badly singing a romantic song. I'm not sure if it's like a Justin Bieber song. I'd have to check, but then that would mean listening to Justin Bieber songs again. So Sonic, hearing the horrible karaoke, is like, ugh, makes me wonder who lost this bet. And Amy pointed out that it was him. Sonic lost a bet. Sonic lost a bet because he was captured. So Sonic's like, don't tell Tails. Sonic lost the bet because he got captured, but he was able to guilt trip Tails into thinking that he lost the bet. So it was Tails that ended up doing the thing. But the thing is, it's been said that Sonic has a lovely singing voice. Remember the episode where Dr. Eggman sued him? Yeah, lovely singing voice. I would have liked to see Sonic sing this song. I mean, I would have loved to see, like, he's singing a romantic song, and he's doing it well, and there's dozens of girls in an audience swooning over him because Sonic knows how to sing. That would have been a nice little punchline for all of this. But, oh well. This episode was general good comedy. Like I said, if you're into the whole Wile E. Coyote thing, this is perfectly serviceable. This is hardly an exceptional episode. Like, there's no great epic moment, and the action scenes are good, but they're not super great. So, but in all truth, this episode is fine. It's a perfectly serviceable episode. Average for the series, but you know the series is good, so this is good television. So with that being said, that's my opinions. If there were any particular jokes or memes that got pointed out in this episode, or any expressions that you thought were particularly funny, why don't you share it in the comments? Now, I'm told that YouTube's algorithms have completely foobarred a lot of channels, and I think my channel is in that magic spot where it's too small to be completely ignored, but not big enough to feel a huge impact when something changes. So I don't know if my channel is being badly affected by these new algorithms, but they say commenting and providing thumbs ups are good ways to support the channel because it makes the algorithms happy. So everybody, like, maybe comment on some stuff, give me some thumbs up, help the channel out. So as long as the channel does good, we can hopefully get me to put more content. And I know, like, I'm working on a toy. I try so hard to work on the toy, but I can literally work on it for only a few minutes a day, so it's taking forever just to make one custom right now. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully I will have at least one more toy before the month is over, although I'm facing the very real possibility that I might not. Thank you for watching. This has been Wake Angel 2001.